It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday night primetime.
It's the fourth country to become part of the NFL's International Series, as our coverage of the NFL brings us to Sao Paulo, Brazil. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott. And Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over him for big yardage, maybe 6 points too.
Here to begin this one is Cameron Dicker. And away we go, here in Sao Paulo. He fields it from the 8. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So here come the Chiefs, taking the field for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, someone who, Brock, I think needs less introduction than anyone in the NFL today. It's Patrick Mahomes.
All of us as sports fans, we know those players in the other sports that when we just think of the greatest to ever do it, a skill set that's different than everybody else, immediately a player pops in your mind. And while we have seen GOATs like Tom Brady and Super Bowl winners many times over like Bradshaw, Montana, and Aikman, there's just not many that have ever done it with the flair, the style, and the skill set of Patrick Mahomes.
First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Cam Hart's up for the tackle that time.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
And this one doesn't go far. They made it to single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd and short. Here's Mahomes. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
True story. First time I saw Justin Herbert at a Pac-12 Media Days, I thought, that can't be Justin Herbert. That guy looks like a defensive lineman. He is massive. But then you watch him play and you realize he's one of those 6'5", 6'6" guys that's the athlete of a 6'2". The way that he moves so effortlessly, the way that rocket arm could throw the ball all over the field. Been hyper productive statistically. Kind of like that Fouts guy that wore the lightning bolt before him. On any given Sunday, this guy can put on a show.
And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Herbert on 1st down. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Herbert from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Back to the air. Herbert dumps it off to his running back. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Trent McDuffie getting there for the stop.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Herbert to throw once more. Pass taken in by the rookie out of Ole Miss. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips, cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
On the carry, this is Najee Harris. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Jaden Hicks there on the tackle. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. On the play fake, it's Herbert. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And now it's 2nd down.
You know, ball skills are not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge game.
2nd and 10 now, Herbert. This one's caught. And he drives this down to the 8 before going out. Third and 4 coming up now. They send a man in motion. Herbert now to throw on 3rd. Complete beyond the marker. And he pushes it all the way to the goal line, but goes out at the 1. A nice gain of 8 there, and it brings them to 1st and goal.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. It's Herbert once more. And he has the Los Angeles touchdown. The Chargers have a great first drive and get the game's first points. So a touchdown on the board for them, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. They couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. blocker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now for the second time, we get a look at this Kansas City offense. And they haven't gotten their legs under them on offense just yet, Brock. 3 plays and a punt on their opening drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Has a man, it's Brown. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First down throw, Mahomes. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
2nd and 10 now. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Travis Kelce, the intended target. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. And they're whistling for a stop. It looks like that's one of the Chiefs in some pretty clear discomfort and in need of some assistance. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Now it's the first carry for Isaiah Pacheco. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. A low-hit Gilman up from the secondary for that tackle. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
A 2nd down run by Pacheco. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Cam Hart's up for the tackle that time. 6 yards to pick up there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Pacheco gets it from the gun. And he doesn't get this one very far, down to only about the 18. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Stiff arm success. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
It is so hard for these defenses. I don't envy them at all to try to monitor where these running backs are. Chippy, are they delaying their route? He's such an underrated part of their overall passing game.
The Chargers into a nickel set, 3rd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. And that's a Kansas City touchdown. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right, when you don't have to settle for field goals, you could throw it underneath and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
Now Harrison Butker for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chiefs tie this game 7-7. Butker on now to kick this one away. Darius Davis to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. The Chargers getting their offense set for their 2nd drive. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Herbert. It is caught left side. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Christian Fulton the one to bring him down.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They go play action. Here's Herbert. Brought in right side. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Throwing on 1st is Herbert. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Herbert throwing again. Dump off caught by his back. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Christian Fulton the one to bring him down.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break out something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it, to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And no look there, and that throw falls to the ground.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So on 4th down, here's J.K. Scott on to punt it away for the Chargers. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. 58 yards on the punt there. And the Chiefs will get set to go on offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Mahomes. He'll get this one to Brown. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
When you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page, because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
On target to Worthy. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 27 on the play. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City. It's the end of the first in this AFC West showdown. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll get back to the action in just a moment. About set for the second quarter. Chiefs football here. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. They go play action. It's Mahomes. Kelsey makes the catch. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Again, Mahomes to throw. This one finds Kelsey. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. On the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
2nd and 3 now. Another throw for Mahomes. That's complete. Here's Brown. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a 1st down.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Back to the air, Mahomes. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
And you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignments, hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
Throwing again, Mahomes. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, Kansas City. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even in early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs break that tie and now lead by 7. Butker on now to kick this one away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Oh, he's shown some burst on this return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. Now LA getting its offense all set to go. It's a touchdown ball game right now, Brock. 14-7 as they start this possession. They've got first down from the 31. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Dumps it off to his running back. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. He just throws this one away. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Herbert from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Ball on the 45, first and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on a broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
They're set up at the 35 now. First and 10, Herbert. It's incomplete. A risky throw to the sideline. They're lucky that defender didn't keep on going down the sideline there. It's going to be second down.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Back to the air, Herbert. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. Almost a completion of the wrong team there. And that's going to leave him with a tough third and long.
Well, that's not the uniform you want to see almost bringing it in. They are so fortunate to have another shot down here after the near pick.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Back to throw. Here's Herbert. Firing one deep for the end zone.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
So on fourth down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. This a 52-yard attempt from the left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Chiefs and Rashee Rice readying for a new series on offense. And after watching their passing attack take them the length of the field last drive, Brock, I expect we're probably going to see a heavy dose of the aerial attack again here. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Hauled in by Worthy. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Only took him one play, partner, and they've already made it to that 40-yard line. They motion the tight end over. First and 10, it's Mahomes. That pass is complete to Kelsey. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
First down throw, Mahomes. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
Well, the pressure, boy, that sped that whole play up, and it opened up a wide range of outcomes. A hurried throw almost ended up an interception. And that wasn't until after they almost brought him down behind the line for a sack.
Second and 10 now. Rice pulls it in along the sideline. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And it'll be first down, Kansas City.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got first and 10 from the red zone. From the red zone now. That's complete, Isaiah Pacheco. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
After a good pickup, they've got second and 4. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is caught. It's a Kansas City touchdown. The Chiefs now lead by 10. It's an Isaiah Pacheco touchdown. If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball if you're not alone. And call me a little biased. Go ahead. I don't care.
You're biased.
But the success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
His kick is good, for the moment at least, as we've got a flag down on the field. I think they're going to get him for hitting the kicker. So they tag him for roughing the kicker, and now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft it and try to stick him deep. Butker on now to kick this one away. And that's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else. So that football coming out to the 30-yard line. The Chargers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. First and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he gets him around 6 there. Something he does so well. Nick Bolton making the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have second and 4.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Another carry for him. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, I knew it at the time. I think everybody did. We knew the Legion of Boom was special, like that entire secondary, but their safety's ability, Earl and Cam, to come downhill, to make those tackles behind the line of scrimmage as he just did. Yeah, I mean, you appreciate great safety play like that.
They've got a man in motion. Herbert now to throw on third. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Going right side, Harris with it. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Something he does so well. Nick Bolton making the stop. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Here's 2nd and 7. Into the hands of Conklin. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And it brings up an LA first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. From the gun, here's a handoff. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Short side option here. He's running left. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Brought to a halt by Brian Cook. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4. So we're at the 2-minute warning here from Brazil. It's the Chargers looking at 3rd and 4. Herbert now, blitz coming. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Trent McDuffie in to pick it up. And the Chiefs get it back as he intercepts him for the 2nd time this game.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Right? You watch defensive coaches preach all the time when they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick 6, yeah, it stinks for the offense. But that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
Finds his man. It's Worthy. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Pressure coming from Mahomes. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Looking for Travis Kelce that time. So it's going to be 3rd and short coming up. Working across the middle, Brock. It is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it.
And he takes it across the 30 before heading out. That play good for 17 and a first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Again, Mahomes to throw. The throw is caught. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well. It sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Another throw for Mahomes. Intercepted in the end zone. Picked up Cam Hart.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, well, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
The Chargers returning their offense and this running back to the field. They could use something to trim that deficit and enough time left to maybe get this near field goal range. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 28. Complete now to the right side. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. LA uses a timeout here. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. They're set up at the 35 now. Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. He's on the move. He's running with it. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Finds the in route complete. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Big gain, 14 on the play. And the Chargers will have a first.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Throwing for the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers make it a 1-score game before halftime. Ladd McConkey with a touchdown. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chargers cut the lead down to 4. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. Here comes the final play of our first half. He's back to throw. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up. So we're at halftime of this Sunday night matchup as we send things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit, but first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Well, if you love high-scoring games, no doubt you have been glued to your television so far. And no signs of slowing down as we begin our second half. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Flushed out of the pocket. He can run it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. A give now from the gun. He breaks the tackle. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a groove, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Back to the well again. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. To the air this time. Herbert forced out to his right. He's running for it. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
putting the tight end in motion. 1st and 10, Herbert. Got Williams, and it's complete. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now a give on the counter. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Herbert from the gun. This throw is caught. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. Herbert now. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers take the lead right away in half number 2. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers push their lead to 3. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. He fields it from the 8. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. The Chiefs are out once again. Their offense led by Patrick Mahomes. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. All right, the Chiefs in good field position here as they start out 1st and 10. Run from Pacheco to start the half. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. They left him wide open. It's complete. Gets it to the 15. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs grab the lead on their first series of the half. Xavier Worthy, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Butker to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chiefs take a 4-point lead. Butker on now to kick this one away. On return, here comes Davis. This return makes it up to the 25. The home teams and this running back headed back out for a new series. All their scoring has kept them close, but they still find themselves trailing by just a little in this third quarter. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
That's a pretty good stop on 1st down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A handoff for Harris, running right. And they had that one contained right at the line. Trent McDuffie getting there for the stop. Call it no gain on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 9.
As a corner in this league, well, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. If you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Now Herbert to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, sometimes even 4th. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
The Chargers lined up in punt formation. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. Pulled in at the 20. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Chiefs ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year is over. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Completes this one to Rice. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They'll give this up the middle to Pacheco. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Sent to the ground by Khalil Mack. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They bring a tight end in motion right. Here we go, 2nd and 9. Kelsey makes the catch. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the 1st.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Running up the middle, Pacheco. He's got a gain of 6 there. Brought to the ground by Dante Jackson. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. They'll come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. On target to Worthy. And he'll go down here at the 16.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
2nd and 3 now. Motioning the tight end now. From the 16. Called in by Worthy. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. A nice gain of 8 there, and that brings them to 1st and goal.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Mahomes has it in close. And that play is brought to a halt, so they're going to say at the 5-yard line. Second and goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. Throwing again, Mahomes. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. They'll try with Pacheco. And he pushes them a little closer to the 3. Give him a couple yards on that run, and this sets up 4th and goal.
Well, the defense, they couldn't stop him for a loss, but they denied him the goal line at least. Now we get to see, right, decision time, one of these critical decisions of whether or not they're going to go for an all-or-nothing 4th down play.
So on 4th down, the Chiefs field goal unit and Harrison Butker headed out. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Up and good from Blankenship. And add 3 to their lead as it extends to 7.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is if the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Butker on now to kick this one away. Has this at the 6. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. This offense headed out as we get a look at their running back. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. First and 10 now from the 30. Herbert. Cut out left. And he reaches the 35 before going out.
The blitz tracked him down eventually, but the effort to relocate outside the pocket bought him just enough time to get that out completed before somebody could put a lick on it.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw, here's Herbert. A quick slant, here's McConkey. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. That's the end of the third on Sunday night. The Chargers have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Here's Herbert. We've got a screen to the running back. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. When one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
This is Harris on 2nd down. Open space inside the 40. And finally stopped at the 34. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it brings up an LA 1st down.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Trying an option here, play to the left. And without much room, he's going to go down at the 32-yard line. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run, in need of some attention. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. On the play fake, it's Herbert. Catch is made down the right sideline. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. The throw is caught. And he takes this one down to the 10 before hitting that sideline. Second and 6 coming up here. Plowing up the middle. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need 1 more now on 3rd down.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign that they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. He's got it! And this one stopped at the 3-yard line. They get 2 on the play, and now they've got 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. A tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
You know, we do enough of these games, Kate, and I am a big fan of creativity. And the QBs today are some of the best to ever do it. That's a situation where you got to know on 1st down, it's not time to be creative, especially if you feel the heat coming defensively. Just find a way to throw that sucker in the 1st row.
Running backward to the 11 as they line up for 2nd and goal. Trying again, following the sack. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock, even if it would have been a touchdown. That was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
3rd and goal. Here's Herbert. Escapes the pocket. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers now trail by just a point in the 4th. Justin Herbert with the touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist, and you got big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
That one. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The visitors and Xavier Worthy back in possession here. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. To the air, Mahomes. And that's incomplete. Wanted to dial up the aggressiveness there like that, but couldn't connect. 2nd down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Running out of the gun with Pacheco. And he's able to maneuver this up past the 30. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite of the big meal between them and the 1st down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
3rd down. It's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Brown. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
First and 10 from the 41. Pacheco gets it from the gun. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Completed over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. This is Pacheco. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. Putting one of the tight ends in motion right. First down throw, Mahomes. Finds him over the middle. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So now they have 3rd and short.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that's just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
Pass didn't work on 2nd. Let's see how that affects this 3rd down. They send a tight end in motion. 3rd and short. Here's Mahomes. Complete beyond the marker. And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
You know what I love about this? Never showing panic. When he leaves the pocket, look at his eyes. They continue to search downfield. They're never looking at the rush. They're finding the open man downfield before running out of real estate.
Again, Mahomes to throw. Has it in close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Pacheco. Goes up and over for the touchdown. The Chiefs take a 4th quarter lead. It's an Isaiah Pacheco touchdown. Well, this has definitely been a tight one throughout, Brock. So now that they've taken the lead, the question becomes, can they hold on to it?
And that question right there is one the defense has to answer. But this sure had the look of a drive where a coaching staff challenged that offense, saying, hey, we need a big drive from you guys right here. And sure enough, that offense delivers.
Yeah, no doubt. Butker on now to kick this one away. On return, here comes Davis. And this drive will start inside the 25. This offense running out for a new series, led by their running back. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Herbert from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he crosses the sideline a yard or 2 beyond, it looks like the 30.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for in 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 32. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum to keep that defense on its heels.
New set of downs for him at the 38. 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. He's got Quentin Johnson complete. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Pickup of 2 here. And it brings up an LA first down.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
1st and 10, Herbert. On the move. And they got there in time. He's taken down. All right, here we go. 2nd down. He'll look to throw it. That throw finds Johnston. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Looking to throw it. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
Well, that throw, Kate, pretty clean out of his hands. Just looked like it didn't get through the defense clean enough. Somebody tips it away and saves a potential completion.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Oh, they're going for it on an option play left. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Come on now. Was there any doubt who they were going to go to right there? That was always going to be a run play. No problem converting on 4th.
Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. Pass is hauled in by the running back. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Second and 3 now. Back to throw. Completed here to Johnston. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. That one gains 7. And the Chargers will have a first.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the 2 of them.
Chargers hurrying to the line as the seconds tick away. Here he is to throw. That throw comes up short. Needed a little more muscle on that one. Looking for his wide receiver there. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Setting up to pass. And really, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. The Chargers call a timeout. That's their last one. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. To throw. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
I think we're seeing why this defense likes him in coverage. He reacts so well to throws and is even more adept in breaking up those passes.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Here he is to throw. He he finds him beyond the marker. And he gets him the touchdown. Now a potential game-deciding play call coming up. So they get the all-important touchdown here late in the game, Brock. Now the question, play for the tie or go for two and the lead?
And I know they've got all these charts and numbers and analytics to tell you what to do, but this comes down to the gut and the trust of the head coach. Does he trust his offense more to go get this two-point conversion, or is he going to lean in his defense and believe that they can get the stop?
On for the PAT, and a make would tie us up late. And everyone can breathe easier now. His try is good, and they found a way to tie it late in the fourth. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27. The visitors are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Hurry up offense now as time runs down. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. He'll get this one to Brown. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store. Gotta block that missed kick from their minds and refocus. Still a win to be had as overtime has begun. On the return, here comes Davis. He stopped on the return at the 27. Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Another carry for him. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
3rd and just 2 to go. They give it to him again. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes, but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Back-to-back carries here. And he's brought down after a short gain. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Short pass brought in. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. They're going to try to pick it up with an option left. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
When they draw up these plays for the quarterback, these are the type of results they're expecting, Kate. Something that could tear a hole in the defense, move the chains, and just as importantly, and maybe most importantly, put a seed of doubt and thought into that defensive mind that the QB can run at any time.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Lone back gets the handoff. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
That offensive line and that O-line coach got to look at those pictures and figure something out. Because you cannot let a defensive tackle defeat your block at the point of attack, or you're going to get a negative run time after time.
Second and 15. Taking a big shot for the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers pull in front. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Dicker on now for the PAT. The extra point is good, and that's a big one. Now their defense just has to defend a 7-point lead here in overtime. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Chiefs offense set to take over again. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now he gets a shot here in overtime. Finds a seam down the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And they're going to be down close to the 35 as he goes out. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I'll be honest with you, Kate. As you grow and develop as a quarterback, your arm gets stronger. These comebacks can be one of your favorite throws in your arsenal. Because if you trust yourself and you throw it before that defender breaks, you know there's yards to be had on the perimeter.
First and 10, it's Mahomes. Dump off caught by his back. And this one does not go far.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Throwing again, Mahomes. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on throw, it's a go-to route to target.
Extra defender in the secondary now for the Chargers. 3rd down coming. Again, Mahomes to throw. Bails out of the pocket quick. He wisely avoids contact, sliding down there. That played good enough for a first. That's a pickup of 9. And it'll be first down, Kansas City.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Looking for Travis Kelce that time. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Timing is everything in life, and timing is everything defensively. That throw was just a little bit late and gave the defense time to close, deliver a pop, and knock that ball loose.
A 2nd down throw for Mahomes. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on the drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
3rd and short. Here's Mahomes. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play on it.
Biggest play of OT. Offense set now on 4th down. Back to the air. Mahomes has a man. It's Brown. And he's tackled with a first down yardage.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on it. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Another throw for Mahomes. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception and just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Chiefs cut it to a lower point on the scoreboard. It's a Marquise Brown touchdown. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
Well, all reviews in overtime have to come from the officials, and we have one coming here. They want one more look at that play. At least right here is where having all those camera angles comes into play. We're going to get a much clearer picture thanks to all the shots we've got.
Yep, technology, everybody's friend right now. We get to watch it again and again. Unlike these officials, who got to see it once in real time. We just have to see, is there clear enough evidence to overturn the call that was made down there on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the celebration can resume on that sideline. The touchdown stands. Butker to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chiefs bring it back to even. Butker on now to kick this one away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Charger offense making its way to the field. And after some momentum was wrestled away by that last touchdown drive, Brock, the pressure is on them to respond here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. He's on the move. He's going to keep it this time.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
2nd and 3 now. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Throwing on first is Herbert. Conklin brings it in. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They'll send him over right. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. They made it to single yard that time. They're going to have to solve 3rd down and 4. Looking to throw it. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds just a yard or 2 short of that 25. That one goes for 25 yards. And it brings up an LA 1st down.
Well, that on the call sheet already. You better believe it is now.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Running behind center with Harris. In the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Right up the gut. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6. LA uses a timeout here. It's second. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. Back to the well again. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stops. He gets 3 on the run, and now a couple of options for him on 4th down. A big try coming up here for Cameron Dicker. Ball on the right hash for this 36-yard look. Timeout taken by Kansas City. It's second. As they'll be left with just 1 more to work with here in OT. And now the entire game rests on his next kick. Ball on the right hash for this 36-yard look. The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
So the Chargers come away with the win in this one. And they only needed to set him up with a shot to connect and win it with 3, and his aim was true to make it happen and put an end to this competitive ball game.